Hello, my name is Justin Swan. I'm the lead designer on Trials Frontier, and this is Kari Silvanoinen. Amazing I can say that as an American. And he is our business intelligence lead. And David just gave a great talk about all the things you should think about when you take a PC game and you take it to mobile. And hopefully we just did all those things. I think we did. And so we're going to kind of talk about in a more detailed way about Trials Frontier specifically, and what we thought about, and the keys that we took with us to success whenever we were bringing that game from Trials HD, Trials Evolution to mobile. But first, Kari's going to talk a little bit about RedLynx, a little bit about Trials, and kind of hopefully convince you guys why we're worth listening to.
Yeah. So the name of the talk is From Consoles to Mobile, and that was a big transformation for us at RedLynx, because we have Justin, can I get the next slide? We are a proven game maker. We have been here for 14 years, done over 100 games on all platforms that exist, basically, like from N-Gage to PSP, Xbox 360, and now we have moved, but we also have a mobile background. We have done over 10 titles on iOS, on Android, over 30 million downloads from these titles alone. Edge has listed us as one of the top developers in the world. Pocket Gamer tells that we are a top mobile developer, and we have been a BAFTA nominee last year. Like Draw Race 2, Nutty Fluffies, I think some of you guys here know these games. But we plan to really ramp this up this year when we brought our Trials brand to next gen and to mobile. Trials is a motorbike game. It's often said that it's one of the gamers game, the game that's like Dark Souls, considered a little bit difficult, hard game, but it's critically acclaimed. It has a really highly engaged fan base. We have user-generated content possibilities in the game, and on Xbox 360, on Trials Evolution, we have over 600,000 user-generated tracks on the game. This is pretty insane. And on Xbox 360, we are number 3 in lifetime sales after Minecraft and after Walking Dead, and that's pretty awesome. And now it's Justin's turn to really explain what Trials Frontier, our mobile free-to-play game, is, and I think the best way to start is to show a video of the gameplay.
Yeah, let's do a video.
The next slide.
All right, so that's Trials Frontier. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's a huge game, and we've been pretty much living this game for about 2 years. And now that we've shipped it, it's been quite a good success for us, and I want to talk about 4 of the keys to that success. And I'm not trying to say these are the only keys. There's many keys, but here's 4 that we have time to talk about right now. So the first is to know your game. And we have both strengths and weaknesses, or as some like to call challenges, and I'll go through a few of those. We of course have a physics-based game, and I really love physics games because you're instantly being able to give your player a very complicated rule set, and you don't have to teach them anything. There's no tutorial that you need to know how something leans forward or is going to fall to the ground. On the opposite side of that, though, our game is a very hardcore skill-based game, and while that works great on console, where we have hardcore players and they really enjoy that challenge, it's kind of a hard thing to bring to mobile, and you actually won't see very many top-grossing free-to-play titles that are really skill-based games. They're usually focused more on the metagame. Our game is very easy to pick up, which really helps. We use this to a great advantage at the beginning of our game, where you immediately jump into gameplay. There's no tutorial, there's no splash screens, you're immediately racing your bike, and people seem to pick it up and get it really quickly. On the other hand, it's hard to master, and usually you might think, easy to pick up, hard to master, that's perfect. But I would argue a little differently in the mobile space. What you see is not that players really seem to want to master a skill set, or a gameplay, but they want to master a metagame. Whether you look at a card collection game or a village building game, these players aren't mastering how to play the game, they're mastering the metagame wrapped around it. So that's one thing that I think doesn't work quite as well on mobile. Also, we have a very engaged fan base that came from our Trials HD and Trials Evo group. We've been able to leverage them greatly during the soft launch. Their feedback was really, really great for us and helped us improve the game massively. On the other hand, those same fans that are so adoring and loving become axe-wielding mass murderers when you tell them you're going to put an energy system on their bike racing game. So we've had to be really careful about the way we message to the users and talk to them and kind of manage that community. We also have a very strong brand. The Trials brand has been really good for us on both PC and on console, but it's not on mobile. And that's something that we really had to work carefully to change the game in a way that works on mobile, but still retain some of the great things that makes Trials what it is. Second is to know your market. So we have core gamers and casual gamers. This is something we always talk about, and David actually mentioned a little bit that a casual gamer doesn't mean they're also not a core gamer. So we're trying to make a game that works for people that are both a core gamer, but then they're on the bus maybe, and they're now a casual gamer. They want to have shorter sessions. They don't want to get involved as much. The premium market to free-to-play, again, David mentioned this also. We had to go free-to-play. It's a truth of the market, and that ended up changing a lot of what we could do with the game and how we had to make it. All of our systems had to be built around this concept of, yes, we want to make the most fun game possible, but it also has to monetize. Then the living room versus the bathroom. This is kind of just a kind of note on how people play the game, from long play sessions to short play sessions. But even if you're like my boss Auntie, whether you're in the living room or bathroom, you still have exceptionally long play sessions, I would say. And then there's a mature market and a growing market. So we're bringing all these new players into gaming. And there's this common lexicon or vocabulary about gaming that your console gamers know. They know all these things that you can just assume. But now that we're bringing all these new gamers in with this growing market, you have to be much more gentle with them, I would say. And this is confused often with simplifying a game or saying that the game must be simple. I just think you have to be gentle. You can make a very complicated game, but it has to be introduced in a slow and nice way. And then Metacritic versus user reviews. Metacritic can have a huge impact on console sales, but doesn't really matter so much for phone games. And also the difference between what you get with a Metacritic score and what the user reviews are saying on console is far smaller variance than what users might say for mobile and what those same critics are saying about the mobile game. So then what do we do with these things? It went the wrong way? Sorry. So what do we do with these things? What's kind of our secret recipe that we used once we knew these facts and we wanted to build Trials Frontier? Well, first was keep the core. We knew that we had an amazing piece of core gameplay. So everything about our game, all the different systems, you might have seen little robot characters and slot machines in that video, bike upgrading, all these different things. It all feeds into riding, though. You always have to race your game for everything you want to do. So we always force the player back to that core loop. But then we needed to wrap it in delicious metagame because I've always argued that it's not the core gameplay that actually is going to monetize or retain your users, it's the metagame. That's what's keeping players around, that's what's getting them invested. So we had to find an interesting metagame to wrap around that core, but at the same time keep driving players into it. And then I say bake for 1 to 5 minutes, and this is another thing David mentioned also as well, is you've got to keep your loops short. You've got to have those short play sessions. I can't think of a single game in the top 100 grossing that has a play session over 5, and it's probably more like 2 minutes you can get in there, have a meaningful play session, and get out. With our game, we tried to target 1 minute, and with that you saw shorter tracks. Our tracks on average take about 30 seconds to complete, where on our console version of the game it can take anywhere to 3 minutes. And then decorate with monetization. And what I mean by this is give players lots of ways to spend money. We don't just have, as some might say, pay to win. You can't upgrade your bike and you can pay to upgrade your bike more quickly. But you can also buy vanity items with outfits and things like that. Or you can pay to more quickly progress through the game. So we really try to give all different kinds of players different ways to monetize on the game. And I think this has actually resulted in profit. We've done pretty well. And here's the results after just 2 months being out. We've seen 12 million downloads, lots of other fun facts there, lots of bike crashes as the game's pretty hard. But yeah, that's a quick little presentation on some of the learnings we took from bringing Trials from console to mobile, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.
Awesome.